Poisonrana.
First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking each day as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you can never really know what's up next.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Braden Herrington here with Davie Portman for upNXT PostWrestling.com, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever podcast app you are using, or you found us live.
Live on youtube.com/postwrestling. Hello, postmarks. Hello, YouTube.
It's a great day to be on YouTube because for you podcast listeners out there, maybe the next day, the morning after, a few days later, you're listening to this, you're missing out. Last week, I jokingly said that if Dirty Dom Mysterio would win the North American title tonight, that I would wear my Dominik WrestleMania mask for this show, and here I am.
You wearing it for the whole thing?
I don't know if I'm making it the whole
very
thing.
hot.
I don't know how they wrestle in these things.
It's
man.
very nice.
Shout out Big Tom, pure fandom, got me this custom Dominik WrestleMania mask that he wore at that WrestleMania, and well, tonight we're in celebration because it is a celebration by hook or by crook. I guess the name goes by it. He is dirty.
Yeah.
That damn Dominik Mysterio is the new North American champion.
Well, hello, chat room, because Chris Leone puts it right. Tonight, BDE stands for Big Dom Energy.
Yeah, that's right. And we gotta give our. What do we do? We pour one out when we lose someone, but we lost Wes Lee's great North American Championship reign that has sadly come to an end. Longest reigning North American champion. But things just got a whole lot interesting because we got Dominik Mysterio.
So now, like Judgment Day is starting to be draped in gold. We need Finn to finish the prophecy, right?
That's right. We got a briefcase on Priest. He could potentially get gold.
So
Finn
potentially Finn could win at SummerSlam.
Could Priest could cash in on him?
Yeah.
Who knows what could happen? But yeah, Dom shocking the world.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk all about tonight's NXT featuring the
huge
Judgment.
NXT.
That's right. Solo Sikoa somewhere is really pissed. Didn't he have to lose the North American title? You're on the main roster now.
Wasn't it his title match didn't have a contract for it? Or it was something weird, wasn't it? You're main roster.
You're main roster now. Why do you need this title?
Yeah,
Get out of
very
here.
odd.
So Dom just being like, yeah, I'll fight for this. Sure. So yeah, all hail Dirty Dom. We're going to be running down that match in its entirety.
I mean, it is always something like you could trade these titles. Like we could have the US title in NXT or something like that. Down the line.
Okay.
Maybe,
just the NXT North American title.
It's just the North American title now.
Right.
You know?
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe.
Representing Canada.
Yeah.
Mexico.
Yeah, exactly.
Be all right. Yeah. So a title change on NXT, the biggest NXT, the ratings pop this is gonna get.
I mean, if he's gonna be on Great American Bash now, think how many more tickets that's gonna shift.
Yeah, down in Texas.
Right?
Dirty Dom is a draw. He's the one true heel in pro wrestling, right?
I'd say so. Yeah. So, I mean, definitely
crazy.
getting there.
So we're proud of. But yeah, lots of the big stuff coming out of NXT today. But we're gonna run through the entire show. Some quick plugs to throw out there. We've done a lot of podcasting the last little week. This week was a crazy week of wrestling. We put out a new Poisonrana. Go search that in your podcast or your YouTube and hit that subscribe button. Me and Davey do a whole other show every Sunday, and on Sunday we chatted a bit about the G1, some of the great matches that have kicked off that weekend, Triple Mania, Collision, that tag match. We chatted about everything going on in the world of wrestling over on that show, as we will be doing this upcoming Sunday as well. And then over on the free feed, I dropped a Detox with Jordan Goodman, where me and him just talked about pure nonsense and Kiwis for some reason. Of course, Shot in the Dark with John Cena, where he covers everything in the world of wrestling, and that's on that feed as well. So lots of podcasts at your disposal over on our Poisonrana feeds. Go give us a follow, a like, a listen, all that stuff.
Absolutely, yeah. It's great. It means G1 this year we have a kind of platform to talk about it every Sunday, as well as Collision, Dynamite, all of that. I feel the G1 is like a like a gym membership, like a subscription. I'm really trying. I'm pretty much caught up. I've got a couple more matches left to watch tonight before I'm caught up.
Right.
But it's eventually, you know, like something gets in the way and it just like I fall behind. But I'm trying my best this year. I want to try and watch as much as possible.
Yeah, I'll definitely cherry pick like I normally do, but there's a lot of matches that I do have interest in. So I will be probably watching a bit more than especially last year's. Definitely into that.
I don't think I watched any of it last year.
I watched some of it.
I really wasn't interested at all last year. But yeah, I'm trying to get into it. And of course there's the post wrestling G1 contest where we're all competing. It's all very close. It's only been 3 days so far, and quite a few upsets already. So, I don't think a lot of people called some of a few of the early matches.
I think I picked the wrong guy because Naito's been calling out Sonata, being like, "This guy looks like an idiot," and then Sonata's like, "There's no sex appeal."
But then Naito lost.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah,
bad start for Naito.
So we chat about some G1 stuff over on Poisonrana as well. Over on our Patreon, you want more podcasts, more bang for your buck, $5 to become a friend over at our patreon.com/Poisonrana. This week, we put out a Was Next, a retro NXT review looking at January 15th, 2014 of NXT with Triple H announcing Arrival, the network, Pac taking on Breeze. That's what he goes by now, right? Just Breeze.
Yes.
I think Dirty Dango and Breeze just picked up some titles. That's
nice. Good for them.
Maybe we'll see more of them. And then some other stuff going on in NXT around that time, which is pretty cool going into the first like premium live event. Well, they didn't call it that.
Not a takeover quite yet, but Arrival, yes.
So that's always a fun show. We did a midsummer review with Chris Leone as an Up Yours, but this past week we did an Up Yours looking at Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze, Fire Frank coming on, and I mean, I don't want to give it away, but you put him on the spot and we pretty much make him put the BD title on the line in some Turtle trivia. Listen to find out if
we tried to pull a screw job.
We
tried to pull a Judgment Day on Frank, but it just didn't happen.
Yeah. And then this week, we'd love some feedback because we're going to record this actually on Thursday. So I know tomorrow, by the time you're listening to this, tonight, whatever it may be, is the return, I guess you could say, sort of the second
Golden
coming.
Lovers reunite.
Yeah, the Golden Elite taking on the BCC in the Blood and Guts match. So we thought it would be fun to look back at the best of the Golden Elite. Well, I mean, the Golden Lovers.
Yeah, so we're looking at a bunch of the tag matches Kenny and Ibushi have had together, but also a couple of their singles matches against each other as well. Think it's just great timing to do something like this, and some excellent wrestling. Obviously, everyone's going to be talking about the match against the Young Bucks from a few years ago, but there's a lot of hidden gems there that maybe you haven't seen. So we have put the list out on our Patreon, and pretty much all of these are available online, whether it be New Japan World or Daily Motion or however you find it. These are all available for you to watch.
Yeah, I'm super excited about this, being a huge fan of both of these guys and kind of looking at kind of a little bit of the history between the two. So we'll also give some thoughts, I'm sure, on Blood and Guts because we're recording it Thursday. So get your feedback in, and that will be coming out this week over on the Patreon. So lots of shows, so many per week. It's only $5 for a month's access. We are small content creators now with our own YouTube monetized and everything. We have super chats on our own YouTube now, so we're working our way up, but all goes a little way. So become a friend for only $5 and check out all the great content that we create.
And you can super chat here as well if you like to. Our overlords, John and Way, are very nice, and we do get our super chats.
Yeah,
so
it's part of the contract.
Feel free.
Yeah. I'm gonna take this mask off.
Are you?
It's
I'm
really
surprised
hot.
You should have worn your "I'm Your Papi" t-shirt.
My girlfriend has it. She always wears it to work, and people always tip her more because they're like, "That's the original shirt." But then she got bleach on it, so then I'm a little upset at her.
Are you mad?
It's like just on the one side. I'm like, yeah, you can make it cool.
Bleach is the worst.
Yeah. I did that to our own. I made a bootleg Poisonrana hoodie, which merch is coming. We swear. But then I got bleach on that too. So bleach can ruin everything. Oh, I feel so much better without that mask. How do these guys do this? I was watching Triple Mania the other day. I'm like,
yeah, you know they move around.
I know, it's crazy.
They do athleticism in those.
They must be dripping. That's why Rey Mysterio started wearing that like half mask.
Oh yeah,
remember, like open
skull? When Kane like changed his mask, I completely understood.
Yeah,
I
don't know how these guys
doing the mouth thing. That's rough.
I'm still celebrating Dom, but I'll put it back on later, maybe.
Yeah, Dom forever.
But how you doing, friend?
I'm all right. I'm a little tired, but like that theme tune hit, and I feel energized for this show. But yeah, like work was busy today. We were like it was a random, just very busy Tuesday, and
The city's wild lately.
we're a server down.
Right
so
now, I'm looking out the window. We can see the Skydome, and there's like cops and all these people. I guess the Jays game just got out.
there's
so
a lot going on.
Go
There's the Jays are back in town. There's the Indy car
there was an Indy
thing
thing.
over the weekend. Beyonce was here the other day.
2 nights of Beyonce. The
I
city
think
was
Post
crazy.
Malone's here tomorrow, isn't he?
Yeah, he's here for 2 nights as well. So the city's definitely
A lot going on,
Going to be picking up, a bit,
and
so.
it's still pretty warm here.
It's hot. I like it though. I'm enjoying this, and we're planning our trip to
Mhm.
All In. We've talked about how we are doing an event over there, All In It. It's sold out, but if you want to make it some way somehow, we do have some opportunities available with the bar downstairs. But message us for details on that. But that's still like a month away. We have Detroit coming up for SummerSlam, and I know you're going to go to a Tigers game, but I think I'm going to make the jump and go to GCW.
You're doing GCW?
I think we have a little bit of a crew now going, and I just want to see Will-O-the-Wisp wrestle.
Yeah, I absolutely do not want to do that.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. The card does look good because I did enjoy Speedball Yoshihiko from WWE. I don't think Yoshihiko's going to make it to Detroit.
No?
But, don't overexpose.
Visa issues? Or?
Yeah. Got
geez.
busted.
Oh, no.
So find us there and let us know if you're attending any of those shows. We'll definitely meet up with people. Yeah.
It's coming soon. It's only a couple of
A
weeks
few
away,
weeks
isn't it?
away. Yeah. Like my birthday's next week, and then the week after that is pretty much SummerSlam. So
Absolutely.
summer is kicking off. We've been barbecuing.
We have, yeah.
I was barbecuing yesterday.
Grilling lots of ribs this year.
I did ribs yesterday,
Yeah.
actually, and some more Portuguese.
I was
skewers.
mad with the last ribs I made. They weren't good.
They didn't hit the way you
No,
wanted to.
disappointed.
Trick is what? Like slow. Put them in the oven slow.
I just don't think they were a good
You
cut. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
And then what the Portuguese place.
Yeah, I went back to this.
Real nice.
Yeah. I went to this Portuguese place. You showed me it, and I think it's the most legit. Like, it reminds me of like how my family make barbecues and stuff. So I've been going to this place quite a few times now, and I bought these like skewers, chorizo and pork, chicken, whatever, all the different fun stuff, vegetables. It's so good, and little round Portuguese potatoes. But then there's a dispensary, a weed place next to this place. So I'm like, oh, sick, and it says, hey, like, buy anything today, get a free pre-roll. So I was like, I'm gonna go buy myself a pre-roll. So I go in, and they have vapes, and one of them had the Undertaker on it. So I was like, I'm sold. I don't know what's going on with that. What is that?
Undertaker vape.
And it was an Undertaker, and of all the flavors that they gave Undertaker got apple tarts. So it's like it's like apple pie.
I'd have thought grape just because of the purple, right?
Yeah. So someone photoshopped. I tweeted it out. Go follow and look. But it's like someone photoshopped Undertaker holding a pie.
An apple
for
pie.
this weed vape. Undertaker. So I bought it, and then
Undertaker wine and Undertaker.
yeah,
apple
this is
pie
not legit.
vape.
Someone replied to me on Twitter being like, "Yo, at Undertaker, is this legit?" I'm like, "Yo, thanks a lot, narc. Like, leave me alone with my Undertaker vape." Just like so odd that out of all the wrestling ones, like, why would there? What are you roll to?
So good for you.
Yeah, summer's great. Summer's going great. If you see an Undertaker vape out there, come on, sorry, it is a weed.
It's still
Yeah.
bad for you.
Yeah, don't do it. Or else you'll rest in peace. And talk all about NXT from Tuesday, July 18th, 2023. And we kick off a little recap of what's been going on here with Ilya Dragunov beating Braun Breaker in a hell of a match last week to get the #1 contendership against Melo. We're seeing some of the battle lines starting to form of Great American Bash in a few weeks, which also is coming up. That's on the 30th, which we will be doing a post show right after it airs on that Sunday. And we kick off NXT with the NXT champion, Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. Trick sporting a Whoop That Trick hat. I'm sure they got to get on that. They got to sell. I don't know if they can get that copyright because it was from like songs. Maybe possible.
I feel this is maybe one he made himself.
He just made it himself.
Yeah.
Like the old days of NXT.
Yeah.
Trick says, I want to introduce the NXT champion who's going to two-step over that dragon. And we get a Whoop That Trick chant here. And Melo says, last week I was seconds away from beating the hottest team in wrestling, the Judgment Day, when Ilya Dragunov decided to get into my business. And Ilya, I know you wanted to help, but, and well, Ilya comes out here. He says, look, I just wanted to help you. I knew Priest was going to take advantage of you. And I thought for a second that Priest could have cashed in that briefcase on you. and that would have prevented me from facing you, and I want to face you. Melo says, look, man, I understand what you're saying, but Melo stays Melo, and I'm not going to get heated. I'm not going to get angry at you. And Ilia says, I want to do one thing, and that's give everything and make you feel something. Make these people feel something. And I'm going to make you feel defeat. Melo says, well, I feel everything, and it's going to be a fight. But when it rains, sorry, I have had a long rain, but when it rains, it pours, and I'm going to be swimming in W's. And then they kind of look at each other, and Ilia starts to punch himself in the face and says, I'm harder than you, I'm better than you. And Trick's face when he does this is hilarious.
He's like, whoa, what's this dude doing?
And then Melo ends it with saying, yeah, well, we're going to feel something. You think I'm going to feel pain? Well, I'll have the champagne. For the other, you'll just have.
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot they really need to do to build this match for me. It's two baby faces. They've both had incredible runs in WWE so far. And I think everyone who's been following these guys the last couple of years are excited for the match. So there's not a whole lot of story going into it. I thought both sounded good in their promos, but yeah, it's kind of, you know, we've got the tag match next week and it's partners, will they get along kind of thing. I don't think the story is particularly compelling, but that's okay because I know, and that's kind of how I felt this segment was. It's like, hey, you're a good guy, I'm a good guy. Didn't want Damian Priest to take the title to WWE to main roster, so I thought both sounded fine, but there's not really much juice in this apart from the fact that both of these are great and the match is going to be great.
Yeah, I like the good guy telling the other babyface, hey, I respect you and stuff, but the story's been done. I know the match will bang, so I'm just looking forward to that. Yeah, but it's kind of weird that they did it with Priest and then Melo losing and kind of didn't really all need that, but this was okay. They both are solid promos, but again, you're both not trying to like really out heel the other one right now at this point. Except Dragunov maybe, because he's got this like mustache goatee combo going. Looks like a pirate or something.
Yeah, I think he needs to get rid of it.
Maybe he is turning heel after all. We go backstage. We see Wes Lee is with Ali, and Ali questions Wes in his locker room. He says, "You're not actually defending that against Dominik tonight." He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, why? Why are you doing that? Why you shouldn't do that? Call the match off. You have a match with me." He says, "Is it because you think I can't beat him?" He goes, "No, that guy's a sleaze bag, and I just want the best at the bash." And he says, "Well, I'll be there." And he goes, No. The best will be there. You still got to get there." So Ali saying, "What the hell, man? I have a match
it's also a little like hypocritical as well, because Ali's been a bit of a sleaze bag recently as well. So yeah, I guess Ali having a fair gripe. He's been wanting to face Wes for quite a while now, and now it looks like it might not be happening. But I mean, I guess we can theorize a bit later on where we think it's going to go. Yeah,
we know where it's going. Earlier today, Tony D is seen getting his stuff back from prison. We see the chain, the ring, the watch, his suit. He goes outside, and we see Stax is outside the prison in his car. And he smiles. Hear the music. It's like a movie here, essentially. Yeah. It's like a whole mob movie, like emotional. I was getting cracked up here of how serious this was, where it's cinema. This is what it is. Stax is there. He gives them his hat. They say, "Let's go. Tonight is the homecoming."
I love just the, like, you didn't see Tony's face. You just saw, like, the envelope arrive with, like, his cross and chain come out and everything he was wearing before as he's about to leave. Yeah, very cinematic here.
Yeah.
But I thought they built this whole thing. Since May 25th, they said he's been off TV and just in prison. So
I wonder if he was living the gimmick, like not going out.
Like Daniel Day-Lewising the whole thing.
Yeah, just staying in. Method acting.
Yeah.
Tony D. I love this because it's so ridiculous, but it needed, like in Ocean's 11 when Brad Pitt's always eating when waiting for Danny Ocean. He should have like and like throw you can't really pizza, I guess.
Yeah.
But I did remind me of that. Great scene. We go to our next match here. Well, I guess our first opening match of tonight's show. Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo taking on Nathan Frazer and Dragon Lee. So this match was set up because what were they called? The Romantics? Who are these?
Los Lotharios.
Los Lotharios. How could I get them confused with an 80s band? Those two these guys were being sleazeballs, and they hit on Leon and
Valentina.
Yeah, so Frazer and Dragon Lee stepped in, which kind of set up this match here and there. This is their first match since coming back to as well. We've watched them years and years and years ago. But they're here back, and this match starts. They jump Dragon Lee and Nathan Frazer before the bell here, and they start to beat them up and throw them back into the ring. When the match officially starts, it's Frazer and Garza who are going back and forth, and they're very fast, and especially Frazer. He's like, sometimes you're like watching him on 1.5 speed sometimes. Humberto and Dragon Lee tag both in, and they're doing the same thing. When Humberto tries to pull at the mask of Dragon Lee, so gets hit with a Rana, and then kind of sends him to the outside. And then Frazer goes for a tope, gets caught by both of them, and then they use Frazer as a battering ram into Dragon Lee right in front of Leon and Feroz, and they're kind of taunting them as we go to commercial break. When we come back, we see Dragon Lee comes back, firing out with a tornado DDT, his high knee. There's like a press off the top rope where both Lotharios throw him, like they have him pressed and then throw him. So such a like high height from the top of the ring to the mat there, which was pretty impressive. There's then a huge moonsault from Humberto for a 2 count. This is when the crowd were really getting into it, as well as myself. A huge rope-hung stomp from Dragon Lee, and then a super kick from Garza, a flying flatliner, a Liger bomb, the crowd going absolutely nuts. And then it's Frazer off the top rope, taking both of them out, leaving Lee inside the ring when he goes for his like running, what does he do? Like running kick essentially. But Garza comes in there and they hit their double team move. What is their, my spell correct, change it to the Destiny. And I'm like, that's pretty sure.
Oh no, it was Dragon Lee hit Destino.
Sorry, it is Dragon Lee who hit Destino. That's why I'm like, Destiny. What's Destiny? Basically the Destino. It's kind of like what Matt Bourne. No, not Matt Bourne.
It's Naito.
No, but it's a little different. It's like that guy, Evan Bourne. He used to do it just like this style. But yeah, the Destino. And this match is over. But I thought this was crazy. I thought this was cracking.
Yeah, this was, I thought this was really good. Really fast paced. All 4 guys know exactly what they're doing. It's really nice watching Los Lotharios again. We weren't watching them as a tag team back in the day in NXT, but we were certainly following both of their like singles runs. And especially kind of Garza with his Cruiserweight Championship run. They haven't been utilized too well on the main roster. So having them come back, and especially working with these two, I thought was great. I actually thought it was a bit surprising, the finish to this, because I kind of saw Los Lotharios winning this.
Yeah,
like, could have been by dastardly ways, but to set up, you know, Heritage Cup matches and things like that down the line, and especially bring them in, trying to kind of like rejuvenate them a little bit in NXT. But it seems they're going another direction.
Yeah, kind of weird. I love both these guys. Garza was the one who took the pin, by the way. And I was like kind of thinking the same thing. You brought them back in to heat them up, but instead you just have them lose right away. But they put on a very impressive match. All 4 guys here. I was really excited to see Dragon Lee tie up with Garza and Humberto, but Frazer mixed in. It was great. So definitely, I think my match of the night on this show. Just some great back and forth action. So this was the match to check out. For sure. But yeah, the Destino, as my spelled, the Destiny. That'd be a cool name too. Well, speaking of destiny, one man is about to find his destiny as Baron Corbin.
Well, after the match, there's a breakup between the team.
Oh, right. Yeah,
that's what I mean. It's like they're going in a different direction.
Oh, yeah. This came in a totally left field, where it's Humberto who's upset at Garza, I guess, for taking this pin, and high faces him and shoves him down like quite a few times. So
shoves him in, leads through the crowd. So I'm hoping this is a feud we'll get actually in NXT, because I can't see them doing anything with these two on the main roster. And yeah, then maybe put one of them into that Heritage Cup division.
Kind of weird you breaking them up right away after a match like that.
Yeah, they
like,
lost. Wow. They sucked. They went to
Yeah.
developmental and they lost.
I guess, yeah. But I do like them together, so it's a shame. I'm wondering where we go with them. If they'll
I
just
definitely
be a hand.
see a higher ceiling with Garza. I think we saw that in his ring and in his run in
Yeah.
NXT the first time. Humberto's good. I don't think quite has the personality and charisma, but I think Garza has a ton of it. So I'd be interested to see more of a singles run from Garza down the line.
Yeah. I enjoy Garza too. And they say they're cousins, but are they actually cousins?
I have no idea.
We go to Baron Corbin going into the woods.
Mm-hmm.
Baron Corbin going into the woods with tiki torches. Where is this leading? He says, "What the hell have I gotten myself into?" So if you remember last week, he left his great house, his wife, his whiskey, his stuffed animals for reasons, and he got in his car and he drove out to the woods where he saw tiki torches. So he followed them into the woods, and here he's saying, "What the hell have I gotten myself into? Life was easy, comfortable, and safe, but it's time to evolve. But evolve to what? You must burn the ships.
Burn the ships.
I need to be feared, respected, and I need to be champion. I will face my future." He's walking through these woods. Very cinematic here. The torches flaming on. Says that you can save your opinions. They don't matter to me. I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this as me. He's a man in a hood. Takes the hood off, revealing Baron Corbin.
There's now, if one wasn't enough, we've now got two Baron Corbins on NXT.
Two Baron Corbins now on NXT.
Yeah.
This was the most hokiest shit ever. Okay, so this guy is pulling up what? Green Goblin here. He's talking to himself. There's two versions of him. So what does this mean for Baron Corbin?
He's got to find who the real him is. He's been living a lie the last 8 years.
The guy in that house with the family and the whiskey? Nah, I need the guy alone in the woods with the tiki torches wearing hoods.
It reminded me of Loth.
I don't know.
It reminded me like one of the passengers would go off in the jungle on their own, and then they'd see the smoke monster of themselves looking back at them, and there'd be tiki torches and stuff. Felt very like that.
So the lone wolf is back.
No, Lone Wolf, he burnt the Lone Wolf.
So
Did you not listen to his promos the last 3 weeks?
But it's still...
He's burnt all the shit.
But he's like, what has changed from like... I guess we're going to see the new...
We're going to see the real Baron Corbin.
The real
He's
Corbin.
got to look into himself. He's got to find out who he truly is.
Yeah.
Because he's not a lone wolf. He's not a king. He's not happy.
Neither am I when I
He's not
watch
a
him on
wrestling
TV. This one did make me laugh, though, because his face, like, oh, the guy, who is this guy? And then, like, taking the hood off. It's like, oh, my God. Bless him. I feel like he's calling us out, though. He doesn't like our opinions when because he clearly made sure to say burn the ships now. I don't think he's actually said it.
He said it the other week.
He did say it.
He said it a couple times.
Nice.
Love me or hate me, save your fucking opinions.
Exactly.
But yeah, I hope he becomes the greatest wrestler after this.
Definitely not happening. Did you see the video? Okay, I talked about this weeks ago. This chef guy who does chef reactions on Twitter, right? Or Instagram, TikTok. This guy does it of Baron Corbin cooking his meat, right? Pause. Baron Corbin replied and been like, "You don't know shit," like blah blah blah. This guy's like, "Hey, like, you cook better than you wrestle," and that's not saying much because he burned his steaks, right? So Baron Corbin posts a video on social media, which I highly recommend people checking out, of himself dressed up as this chef, doing like his critique of Baron Corbin. Yeah. The chef has now replied to that video and fucking rips him apart. They must be friends or something working together now, because the guy's wearing a replica title. He's like, "I'll see you at SummerSlam" or something like that. It is so funny. So
is this the Great American Bash match?
This is the SummerSlam match.
The SummerSlam match? All right.
The chef, what is it? The chef review
Chef
guy?
Chips.
Yeah. Chef, burn the chefs. But yeah, Baron Corbin to be coming soon. The new Baron Corbin. We go to a video from NXT Anonymous. It's Booker T backstage with Roxanne. They do not notice that someone is standing right near them, filming them. And he goes, "I want to be straight up with you, dog." I'm assuming he said dog, because he usually doesn't when he's backstage. He says, "You better watch out, Roxanne. Blair Davenport, she's hard, she's cold, she's bad, and she took you out before, she'll do it again." And he says, "I'm just giving you advice that you got to bring the noise, you feel me?" And then she's like, "Thanks, Book." Then it cuts to Vic Joseph and Booker T at the commentary desk. Booker T is livid. He goes, "What the hell? That wasn't no damn promo. That was just, who filmed this? Like, where's security? What's going on?"
Someone who's finally mad that people have been like, there was someone else in NXT who used to take videos of people without them knowing, did they? And we don't really talk about them anymore.
Solomon Crow?
Oh no, I mean
no, I know what you mean.
But yeah, I'd be pissed. I'm like, what excuse me? You recorded our private conversation? I'm glad they've kind of acknowledged that. And I always like the tie between Booker and Roxanne, that he's like father figure, always giving her advice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was no damn promo. You got to bring the noise. You feel me? He just talks like that normally in the back of wrestling venues. Yeah. So throughout the next match, Booker plays up that he's like kind of upset that people are like filming him without his consent. As we go to our next match, Gigi Dolin taking on Kiana James. These two are in a match. They're in a feud here because Kiana said, "Ha, you're poor," and threw paint on Gigi. So Gigi put paint all over Kiana's office, and here we are. Right away, these two keep trying to roll each other up. Kiana wants no part of Gigi. There's near falls back and forth. Eventually, Gigi seats Kiana in the ropes and hits a running seated drop kick. That looked pretty good. Kiana then stomps her out and comes back. There's a roundhouse from Gigi for a near fall. Kiana then goes to grab her bag, her pink purple purse, and Vic is like, "Oh, what is she doing?" And Book goes, "Oh, it's her phone. Her phone's ringing. She's just trying to answer her phone." As she tries to, the ref tries to take the bag away. Somehow the bag gets up on the ground, and it's the 401k, that flatliner from Kiana on the bag. The ref completely sees that Gigi's on the bag.
Well, Gigi tried to use the bag. So
Yeah.
I think then it's fair game. The bag's on the floor. It is what it is.
It's not really revealed. Was there a brick in this bag, or was there a phone in the bag?
Or if there's been paint cans in the bag.
I guess,
before.
yeah. So Kiana pins Gigi in not a great match.
I thought this was pretty bad. I don't think Gigi Dolin's very good at all. And she's been wrestling quite a while now. Like that Mae Young Classic when she first came into WWE, that was 5 years ago. And she hasn't improved at all. I thought this match seemed to move in slow motion. Kiana's obviously a lot newer. I think we have seen potential with her, and they seem to kind of hotshot her, putting her in the final four of certain matches and things. But she's not improving at the rate of, say, a Tiffany Stratton, or I'd even say Thea Hale has really stepped up recently. Kiana seems kind of exactly the same as she did a year ago. I thought this was slow.
It's like they're in slow motion.
It is, and I've said this about that Gigi JC match we had. It's just so slow. There was zero heat from this crowd, and the NXT crowd are normally pretty responsive to everything, and it was crickets for this. I thought this was pretty horrible, and the stuff with the bag was just right in front of the ref, and it was just silly. And
I mean, it's probably continuing.
This feud seems like it's continuing, and it's just not been hitting with me in ring or out of the ring.
I'd say the same, since the whole toxic attraction thing, they just really haven't been hitting since.
Not
really. That feud and anything both of them have been doing. So. We go backstage. This is earlier today. Axiom and Reggie, or was this from last week, where they're talking about how they're not really a tag team, but Lucien, Price, and who's this other one?
Bronco Nima
show up, and they're like, "Hey, we're new here, and it's all about respect." And they say, "Respect? Well, we'll show you some. How about we have your first match on NXT?" And
well, they interrupted them, so Axiom was saying, "You're showing us no respect," and they said, "Respect has never got us anywhere on the streets."
On the streets.
So
yes.
Yeah,
so that's what leads to a matchup later tonight of Axiom and Reggie, and Axiom pulls Reggie aside after and says, "What? We're a tag team. We're not a tag team. I'm gonna do this match with you, but just get it through your head. Not a tag team." And Reggie's like, "All right, okay." Or are we? We see Ivy Nile. This is depressing. You want to pour one out? It's time to pour one out for Diamond Mine, as we see Ivy Nile in the dojo, climbing up a ladder, tearing down the Diamond Mine.
They lost 2 weeks ago. This is like take your Christmas decorations down in February.
She was like, "Hey, maybe they'll get,
maybe they'll come back."
She didn't take the dojo's still there. The punching guy is still there. That dummy that they beat up, that guy's still there. So.
And really, they could still train in the dojo together. They just can't appear on NXT, no?
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Poor Ivy.
The dojo no more. A lot of members of Diamond Mine been here through the ages.
There has, yeah. Tyler Rust. Yeah.
That Suzuki guy? No, who was that guy?
Oh yeah, no, yeah. What was...
Not Kenzo Suzuki.
No. God, I completely forgot about him.
Yeah.
Wore a tracksuit and just stood around.
He was just like,
Did
hey,
nothing.
I'm in this group.
Did nothing.
He didn't even
completely
wrestle.
forgot about him.
Yeah, he barely wrestled. He's just like, hey,
He
remember?
never wrestled. Yeah, that was weird.
We had Bivens, right?
Bivens, yeah.
Roderick Strong.
Yeah.
And then the Creeds, I guess.
And now, yeah.
I feel like there was another person in this.
Tatum Paxley. Tatum Paxley.
She was kind of in it, yeah.
She was in it. Damon Kemp was in it.
Hideki Suzuki?
Hideki Suzuki.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
that's it. Damn.
Wow, yeah, Diamond Mine was pretty big.
Diamond Mine, man. It's end of an era.
Diamond Mine's meant to be forever.
Not anymore. Once the flag is taken down.
Mm.
Okay, so the Creeds are in the masks next week, revealing we're not gone. We talked to Sean. You screwed us. We need a rematch at the Great American Bash. Is that not what's happening?
Well, we've got a segment later where I kind of want to bring up my thoughts. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, Ivy Nile taking it down. We go to Eddie Thorpe. He's being interviewed, and they're talking about his big win at NXT Underground. And he goes, "Yeah, it was a big win. It was a big fight, and you know, I'm ready to go forward." He was supposed to be on the Supernova sessions with Noam Dar, but Noam tweeted out,
Can't do it. Can't do it.
But here he shows up, and it's the Metaphor, and they have Noam in a wheelchair. He's pretty much incapacitated.
It's Linda McMahon in 2001.
He's just he's just in this like suit, and he's just laying there, and they're like, "Hey, on behalf of Noam, we got you this," and it's a picture of the cup. And Eddie's like, "I don't really like want this," and he's like, you know, thanks. And they're like, and here, an autographed picture of Noam Dar, and he rips it up in front of them.
A bit rude.
Yeah, could have sold
Poor
that.
guy suffering.
Yeah, just think of all the people waiting at airports who would have wanted that autograph.
Yeah, exactly.
So this sets up a match. Ora Mensah steps in and says, you know, I'll fight you. So that's what's happening tonight. Eddie Thorpe versus Ora Mensah. In honor of Noam just chilling in this chair. But we'll see him again later.
I think he's very funny.
Yeah.
I actually really like this group, and I think this whatever they're doing with Noam Dar,
Yeah.
it is kind of working for me. I think he's pretty entertaining.
It's working for all of them.
And he
really.
has been like right back in when the cruiserweights were part of Raw, the whole Alicia Fox thing. Like he is entertaining,
Yeah.
and I think it's making all these other characters so much more interesting.
Absolutely. We go to Axiom and Reggie, and they're having their matchup here, and they're taking on the debut of Bronco Nima and Lucien Price. And taking me a while to figure out who's who. So they're dressed as street thugs.
Yeah, well, one of them is, the other's in wrestling gear.
The other one was like, nah.
I think Bronco was in the tank top and the pants.
Okay.
And Lucien was in the like wrestling trunks.
Okay. All right.
I think.
They're
At least
pretty-
that's what my notes tell me.
They're pretty big dudes.
Yeah.
They're pretty big dudes. This starts off with Reggie in there, and he's doing this like crazy backflip counter. That was pretty
This
cool.
looked awesome. Yeah, like it was both like fun watching both Axiom and SCRYPTS because they're both quick, how they were evading these big guys, and those backflips out of these clotheslines look really cool.
Vic Joseph on commentary is mentioning that these guys are big, bad, and nasty, and like football backgrounds. One of them was kicked off the Washington something because he ain't about it, and he laughs, and Booker laughs, and then what happens is Reggie tags in and tags back out, and when Axiom gets in, Reggie from behind attacks his own partner Axiom, kicks him down, punches him down. The ref is like, "Get out of here."
It was kind of weird. He tagged and then just wouldn't leave the ring. Was just stood there, and the
Yeah.
ref's like, "What are you doing?" And it was like, "I'm waiting for my spot. I'm waiting for the
Yeah.
bit."
And then goes out and then comes back in to do it. Axiom's confused. Vic Joseph's livid. The two guys then beat down on Axiom, and then they hit their double team move, which was just a big boot, really.
Yeah, it was, I think, Lucien throwing him into a big boot. I
Yeah.
think it looked like it was going to be more like a stomp to the
but I
face,
think he
and maybe
slipped
they
up.
mistimed it
Yeah.
or something.
Axiom sells it like he got stomped.
Yeah.
So Lucien Price and Bronco Nima win their debut tag match, really just because of Reggie. And then I wasn't sure if Reggie now is just, like, supposed to be associated with them.
I think so. He leaves with them, and he's kind of smiling
middle
with
of
them
them.
either side of him. So I assume this is the unit now. SCRYPTS and Streets.
The scripts and the streets. Vic Joseph is like, "What's going on?" And he's like, "How could he do this to him? How could he? How could he, Book?" And Booker T says to Vic Joseph, "Because he ain't from the hood, Vic. That's why they beat up Axiom. They're like, nah. So that's Booker T's explanation. But yeah, I thought Booker T was on one tonight.
Quick match. Didn't really get to see a whole lot of the new guys. They are big. And I guess we've lost Sanger and Veer now to main roster. So these are the next big man tag project, monster tag we've got. I thought for the couple of minutes we did have, I thought Axiom and SCRYPTS were pretty entertaining, trying to like dodge everything. But yeah, more about the angle here at the end.
Yeah, I guess we'll see more of these guys. I wanted to see a bit more. I didn't really quite get to sense if they're wrestlers or not, really, but I guess we'll see. Because the one guy looked like you never seen Spring Breakers? Movie? You know the James Franco's character, Alien? Yeah. His real name
grills and the dreads. Yeah,
it looks, that one guy looks like this guy. We go to there's a lot of just talking in this show. There's the homecoming. Are you ready? Put them up. Your Italian hands, please. It is time for the homecoming of Tony D'Angelo. We have Stacks in the ring with a whole bunch of what I presume to be Italians.
Yeah.
The family, the Tony D family. We've got a bunch of old dudes. The one chick
most
here.
Italian. I want to see the casting sheet in Orlando.
Must look Italian.
Need Italian-looking people.
The two women, I recognized one of them. I don't know if she's at the Performance Center or if I've seen her like on Women of Wrestling, because there's a character there that is pretty much like an Italian mobster. So I'm wondering if it was her. But this was funny. So Stacks has this whole family here, and he says Tony got locked up, and they thought he was going away forever. They thought Gallus was taking over. Well, they thought wrong. So here is the boss, Tony D. Out comes the man, getting a huge homecoming reaction as he hugs and kisses all the Italians here. It's like a whole homecoming. He says, "I'm back, baby." He's looking sharp. He's got his hat, his nice suit on. He says, "Shout out Stacks." He goes, "I know Hollywood's got to figure it out lately, but when they do, they got their next leading man right here, because this guy fooled Gallus. He's a great actor." Hollywood does need to get it together. You're right, Tony D. Who would have thought? Mobster Tony D. Supporting.
Yeah.
the SAG?
SAG
or whatever it is. Yeah. He goes, "Most of you guys and ghouls thought I was going to be in there forever, and you thought Stacks was the rat, but that's not true. A wise man once told me, things aren't always all what they seem." And then he rolls some footage, and it's like a whole, like, it shows the clips that we saw on TV, but then it shows like clips that we didn't see, where it's Stacks planning this thing with Tony. So it's like your reveal at an end of a movie, like you're Departed or whatever, where it's like, so this is how he did it.
Yeah.
And then they go through the steps. All right, so I lied to him, and then I knew he would snitch on me and tell you, and it's like this whole clips of them. So after they air this clip, they're all laughing and celebrating, but out come Gallus, and they're pretty mad. Mark Coffey with his hair. He's always got his hair just perfectly in front of his face. He says, "Yous twos are the lowest form of life I've ever met in my life. You're scum, subhuman scum." He says, you're going to wish you were still locked up, Tony D, after I'm through with you. Tony D says, "Yeah, well, why don't you go home and get your shine box, shine up those titles real nice, because we're going to take them at the Great American Bash." And Mark Coffey gets a little serious and says, "We are dead serious, we're going to go toe-to-toe with you in the ring. We'll put those titles on the line." And they go into the ring, and the three of them are standing against Tony D and Stacks and this whole family. And they pull out like a shillelagh, a bat. What is this?
Yeah, like a little club, a baton.
And when Joe Coffey does this, all of these people behind Tony D and Stacks pull out crowbars out of nowhere.
I've seen Sino and Frank do this all the time.
Yeah, it's an Italian thing.
Yeah.
They pull out these crowbars, and then Gallus get a little shocked and scared. I started laughing. This was pretty funny. And they're like, "Oh yeah?" And then they go, no, let's make it fair. So the family like back off. And then when Gallus tried to attack Tony, they put Mark Coffey through a table that had some nice looking sandwiches on it. Yeah.
I think Vic called like, "Not through the provolone."
They then hold up the titles, and they are going to have their shot at the titles at the Great American Bash. What a homecoming.
Yeah, I think looking back on this whole like prison angle, it kind of shows that they've kind of been making it up as they go along and haven't had much of a plan, because it's if the idea is as soon as he went to prison, Stax was meant to get Gallus to believe that he was the one to get him in prison and is going to work with them.
Yeah.
Why were they running videos of Stax looking at, charts of who the potential suspects could be and all that? Like, it wasn't until like 2 weeks ago where they did this
right,
he's the rat kind of angle.
Right.
So I didn't think it was really, looking back, well thought out and well planned out. Didn't really make a whole lot of sense, to be honest. What I will say from it, I think Stax has really stepped up as like a
actor,
and like I'm not saying it's Emmy award winning or anything, but he's seemed to have gained confidence during this story, and I think his wrestling has impressed at times as well. So I think this story with Tony being away for a little bit and letting Stax step up, from a developmental point of view, has helped Stax, and I could totally see these two taking the tag titles.
They should. I've actually really liked Gallus since they've come here, but I do think it's time to maybe give these two the bit of rub there and let them have these titles and get their glory, their shine box. That line got me too. I've been waiting for that. Go get your fucking shine box. It's just all Goodfellas jokes.
Yeah.
Like, this character, like when it first happened, we were like, okay, let's give it a shot. We lost interest real quick. It took a while to get back, but it's so silly and so ridiculous. And like, call me crazy, but with this character, both of these characters, would they not work on the main roster like way more? Like, there's got to be a lot of an Italian base watching.
I
Raw
do
and
like
SmackDown.
watching, having no AJ Galante to be seen. He's still.
Oh, he wasn't in the. Yeah,
Is
he's
he
dead.
Is he like kayfabe dead?
Yeah, the LWO Santos kidnapped him and then murdered
And we
him.
assume murdered him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think if it were to go up to the main roster, it could do with a couple more members.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe a female added to the family, that kind of thing.
Where's Nunzio? There's big. Remember the FBI? Like that it worked when you had a big guy too.
Tony Mamaluke and
Yeah. You need like a big Italian, and they don't have any right now, so they need to work on that. So NXT
Bronco Nima, work on your Italian accent.
yeah. Which one?
Lose the grill and like.
Which one of you can be Italian? That'd be great. Yeah.
Babatunde just becomes Babatunde.
I'm Italian. I'm Italian now. Fine. Or you get the Irishman, right? Like the Irishman who joins in, like the movie. Right?
Okay.
Like the Irishman who pretty much is Italian.
I mean, Jordan Devlin's not done a whole lot since he's gone.
Yeah,
up.
I don't know if he's So that match is added to Great American Bash, we can presume, and I'm excited for that. Family could be bringing home gold.
Do you see any sort of gimmick added to that at all?
I kind of want it to.
Club and a crowbar on a pole tag match.
No DQ, like pub. I don't know, pub mafia pub fight.
Yeah,
Irish versus Italian. This is the biggest.
That's Scottish.
Italy. Sorry. This is the biggest Scottish versus Italian war since like ever. So Great American Bash, can't wait. I did laugh at this. We go to our next backstage segment is Carmelo backstage walking into the Schism. Joe Gacy and his lads wearing masks. Rick Williams says, yeah, I'd wear a mask too if I was drinking what all these people be drinking. Mentioning some Kool-Aid with this cult. Ilia then walks in again and kind of interrupts, and Melo's kind of even more pissed. Like, why do you keep interrupting me and getting into my business? I told you already. And Gacy says, oh, look, it's Dragunov. He's the next NXT champion. Which pisses Melo off. Like, look what you're trying to stir here and trying to mess around. It ends up being a huge brawl, and it is announced that next week we are getting a 6-man tag match. So, what, Melo?
So, Melo Trick and Ilya Dragunov against Schism.
Right.
So, yeah, it's going to be one of those, can these two coexist, these three coexist kind of match.
Yes.
But maybe I'm just looking into it. There was a really tall guy behind Gacy who, behind the mask, you just saw his eyes like darting side to side the whole time.
Right.
And when the beatdown was happening and the like followers were joining in,
he didn't help.
there was one who wasn't helping.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
kind of, it looked like Julian.
It has to be that reveal next week.
I think so.
Yeah. Just slowly, like, takes the mask off. It's the cream.
Oh my God.
Exactly. Wow. Can't wait. That match does sound pretty good. And I know it's the coexist thing, but what are you going to do? We go to Thea, Hale, and Duke Hudson coming out to the ring. Thea Hale has a match here, and she's taking on Elektra Lopez with Lola Vice. There's a little insert video where Lopez says, she's going to beat Thea Hale here and show that this little kid isn't right for this division. These are women in this division. Lola Vice didn't really do too much here. She's just kind of Lopez's valet. Lopez is aggressive right away with these knee strikes and then like a head smack to the mat. Goes for a move in the corner, but Thea counters and then hits a senton, and then Lola gets up and distracts, which allows Elektra to hit this huge lariat on Thea. And then when Elektra goes for this like choke bomb, sit out spinebuster bomb, Thea counters it into the Kimura lock, dropping her to the mat, and Elektra Lopez taps out reluctantly as the crowd chant, "You tapped out." Someone's even got a sign, "You tapped out," because the whole she tapped out Tiffany. So right here, she beats Elektra Lopez like absolutely nothing.
I think she's really improved in ring. Yeah. Like this whole her learning the submission thing's been really fun, but I've seen more like she's threading things.
Unstoppable. I tapped her.
I saw Tiffany ever loading. So I think we're going to see in the couple of weeks before the Great American Bash, her probably, I guess so. Yeah. But also it's a great way for her to debut a new move as well, because I don't see Tiffany losing this title. But I do think this has been a fun kind of transition feud, and she'll get a new move out of it probably.
What's the prettiest submission ever? Muda lock? Figure 8 kind of thing.
Better not be the money clip.
She's done the money clip before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd see it. I could see like a Muda lock.
What is the prettiest
stuff?
Yeah, the arch, right?
It's pretty nice. Nice.
Exactly. I like it. Cattle mutilation. That'll be what she uses.
Pretty mutilation.
Yeah, exactly. We go to what was to be the moment we were all waiting for. We all wondered, would these two characters ever cross paths in the WWE NXT universe? And the answer is yes. Here tonight, as Dirty Dom and Rhea Ripley are hanging out backstage, Dom is getting ready for his match. Tony D'Angelo and the Tony D family walk by, and he goes, "Hey, Dirty Dom, nice to see you here. Just got out of the clink, and Benny the Bumper says hi from the yard." And Dom says, "Benny, what a guy." Tony wishes him luck in his match here. Then Lyra Valkyria comes in for some reason.
Dom just had like the most full 24 hours of his life, really, in that prison. Seemed to have a great time.
Yeah, Benny from the yard. Benny the Bumper.
Benny the Bumper.
Lyra Valkyria comes in to talk to Rhea, and Rhea's like, "Hey, you got to show..." who's she feuding with again?
JC
Jane. Yeah, you got to show JC Jane some.
Yeah, Rhea was mad at her because the other week she was like, "Hey, Lyra's a badass," and then she let JC beat her up and rip her wings.
And then Dom's like, "Yeah." I was like, this is kind of weird.
Yeah, it's kind of. I guess they're kind of connecting Rhea and Lyra's history from NXT UK, and Rhea's kind of trying to motivate her to be a bit more of a killer. Do you see Lyra potentially joining Judgment Day?
She looked different here. She wasn't wearing any bird shit.
JC destroyed it.
Right. Oh, right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably for the best then.
So I think they're trying to have Rhea kind of motivate. So we'll see maybe Lyra with a bit more of an edge.
That match would be good. Rhea and Lyra.
Rhea and Lyra?
JC. Oh, but I liked Lyra. So. Yeah, but Tony D and Dom in the segment here. Dom looked like he was like, "Oh yeah," he didn't say thanks, nothing. He's just like, "Oh," he looked like he was looking at a producer who's like, "Oh, I gotta look over here now," because I watched it twice because it was just what a great interaction. Benny the Bumper. Who is Benny the Bumper? We go to a video of Gable Steveson, and he's still talking about decisions, dude. You just make up your mind. Imagine asking this guy where he wants to eat tonight. Holy shit.
It's like, dude, I thought you were meant to be on Raw 2 years ago.
What the hell, man? He says, "I could go back to school, I could go to Paris for the Olympics, or I could stay here at NXT." Wow. I don't know. Which one sounds good of those three? You tell me.
Like, it's not... it's a bit of an anticlimax if he comes out next week and goes, guys, I'm going back to school.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, okay.
Maybe he is going back to school.
Chase you. Yeah, so I assume, like, as of next week, Gable Stevenson's going to be a more featured character in NXT.
Yeah, so he says he's making his decision next week, and I guess he's now, signed to be wrestling? I assumed he wasn't going to be doing that, so kind of weird, but yeah, next week. He comes out, guys, I made my decision, I'm going to the Olympics, see you later. Goodbye.
Unless it's just, tune into NXT every week to see Gable Stevenson's progress training on the Olympics. I don't know,
kind of weird. We go to our next match. Eddy Thorpe taking on Oro Mensah. We see the metaphor. They bring out, they wheel out Noam Dar ringside here. Booker says he's worried about Noam. He's like, oh man, I'm worried about him. And Vic says, why? He goes, well, that boy not well. Because he's like non-responsive. He's just sitting in this wheelchair. Mensah starts off this match. He chops Thorpe, who does not sell it, and then really chops Mensah here, kind of putting the boots and slowing down Mensah. Eventually, Mensah hits an exploder, and then this like counter to a kick with a kick of his own for a near fall. Thorpe comes back with a huge German suplex for a 1-2, and then at some point in this match, Lash Legend grabs Noam Dar, rolls him into the ring, and again, he's playing like he's like dead.
Docile, like, yeah.
She's literally rolling him in while Jakara Jackson's distracting the referee. While all this is happening, Donovan he's just Dijak now, right? Dijak, glasses and all, kicks Thorpe with a big boot outside. Ref didn't see it. The ref counts 1, 2, all the way to 9, but Thorpe gets back in the ring, only to be welcomed by a spin heel kick in the corner, and Mensah gets a victory on NXT against Thorpe.
Did you see what fell out of Noam Dar's pockets as he was being rolled into the ring?
Was it money?
It was loose cash and Noam Dar wrestling figure.
Yeah, he had it in his pocket as well earlier. He had his own figure in his pocket. So yeah, the metaphor then celebrate, and Noam again is just like Weekend at Bernie's here, because they cheated their way to a victory for Mensah.
Yeah, I'm enjoying metaphor, and I think they've done a pretty good job since that NXT Underground match a couple of weeks ago of kind of, like building up how good that match was. They kind of had they showed the highlights from it last week with the jobbers going, oh, sick. And then this week, Mackenzie interviewing her, it's like, hey, it's your first match since that huge win. So I think they build it up as a pretty big thing. And I'm down for a Dijak feud for Thorpe. This match, like, it was a lot of shenanigans going on, so like the wrestling wasn't really there, but that's okay. But Thorpe v Dijak, I want to see Thorpe capitalize because he did nothing for me for a long time. But I did like that Underground match, and I think Dijak can get something good out of him as well.
Yeah, I mean, should it go to a fight pit or Underground match between those two? I mean, that should be a bash match, I guess. Thorpe and Dijak, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe, or a big TV match or something.
Yeah.
I don't think you go to Underground this quickly after the last one, but I can see it being Dijak just had that great match with Ilia as well, so I can see it being a pretty heavy-handed match.
I just love the metaphor right now. Noam Dar is loving it. He came in and his wrestling was impressing me. I was like, whoa, this guy's awesome. And then now he's not even wrestling, and he's still like steam sealing for me. Yeah. He's still so funny, and you said he reminded me of you reminded him of Linda McMahon, obviously, because he's just in the wheelchair and wrestling. It's really like it's just so funny him sitting there.
So is it gonna be like Mensah starts being nasty to him and then he gets
finally
kicks him in the balls?
You're out of the 4. And gets up, kicks him in the nuts.
Yeah.
Great stuff. Never forget Linda McMahon. I'll never forget this next segment. Dana Brooke and Kalani Jordan. They're talking about how Dana's kind of taken Kalani under her wing here, and she says, "Don't be down about Cora Jade. She's nasty. She's mean. People can be mean here. Let's do what we do best. What only we can do. We're in the gym. Let's work out and do some gymnastics."
So hey, both of our wrestling hasn't been great recently. We keep losing. So do you want to do cartwheels?
Yeah.
Let's do cartwheels. We're good at that.
So this was the best segment I've ever seen. So these two do cartwheels and gymnastics in the gym. And then Kalani says, "Thanks, Dana. You really, raised my spirits up." Dana says, "Don't worry. You'll get that win back." that. Then cuts to Cora Jade in the locker room watching this like gymnastics. She seemed a little jealous.
She smacked the locker with a stick.
Not even the TV.
She's mad. The Cora Dana feud hasn't been great, and they announce a match for next week, right?
It's a
stick on a pole match.
Wait, who versus who?
Dana versus Cora.
Oh, and a pole on a pole match
with a stick on a pole.
So what is that thing? It's a kendo stick,
it's
right?
A kendo stick, but it's painted black.
Nice.
You know, it means it hurts more.
That match next week?
Yeah.
Oh man, that sounds awful.
So to make it work, Dana has to do some gymnastics to get that stick.
Yeah.
You know, to actually have this segment make sense.
She's gonna do the backflip like Vikingo, lands on the top turnbuckle, grabs it,
smacks her over the head, and 1, 2, 3.
Hyped.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm sure it will be a match on next week's show.
It will be a match.
It will be a match for next week's
show.
show.
And I'm, for one, really excited about it. So a pole and a pole match and gymnastics, and love it. Why not? We go to Roxanne and Blair Davenport. They have a sit-down, lots of talking on the show. They have a sit-down interview, but they're not in the same room or the ring together. No, hate each other. They're doing it via satellite or I don't know, something like that. And we see Roxanne mention the NXT Anonymous in the video and says like, well, I don't know who this is. And Blair interrupts right away. Just so you know, like, it's not me. I'm not NXT Anonymous. And Roxanne goes, okay.
This has been like the first week, because NXT Anonymous has been going on for a while. This is the first week really where they've kind of raised the question, hey, who is this? Both from Book and Blair kind of saying, hey, that ain't me.
Yeah. Blair says, hey, Roxanne, I thought Booker T liked you. It seems like he had some choice words for you. He knows. Even he knows. I left you lifeless, and I'll do it again, this time in front of your family in Texas at the Great American Bash, meaning this match is official. Roxanne says, yeah, well, I might not be 6 feet tall or the strongest, but I'll never stop fighting. And that day I lost that title, there's a rage building inside of me. And Blair, you've only added to it. Blair says, well, yeah, you don't have that killer instinct. And Roxanne tries to like interrupt her, and she keeps interrupting her. And she says, after I beat you in Texas, you can take that bus on home to wherever you're from in Texas.
So Laredo, I think.
Yeah.
She's like, Laredo ain't far from Austin.
So then you can just go home, stupid girl. And then Roxanne like disconnects her mic and walks off. We assume she's going to show up and beat her up, but that does not happen.
Yeah, I thought it made Roxanne actually look a little weak here. Because it's left on Blair with her going, oh yeah, run away, you stupid little girl. And it was just asking for, you know,
beat
Roxanne
up.
To then come in the shot and beat her up. I'm okay with this match happening again. I think both are good in ring, and I do want to see more of that edge from Roxanne that we have seen a bit of since like the Cora feud.
Absolutely.
And this is going to be at Great American Bash as well, so hopefully get some time. I think they could put on a really good match, actually.
Yeah, I mean that's already a lot of matches added to it. I guess we can run down afterwards. But that they were good the first time, and I think they do deserve. It's good when there's storylines that aren't just a title when it's women's division, because so many times they're really bad. So this actually makes sense. I beat you. You're the NXT, golden child.
It's kind of made sense of her loss as well. It's like, hey, you lost and you're still just this little kid, and everyone else has passed you by now, and now this is grown-up division, and you need to grow up. So I could totally see this be Roxanne's last feud in NXT as well.
Yeah, I agree. She'll definitely be. So next week's the kendo stick match, a 6-man tag match, and Gable Steveson decides. It's main event time. The North American Championship on the line. The champ, Wes Lee, on a hell of a run, going up against dirty Dominik Mysterio with Rhea Ripley in his corner here. Lots of boos for Dominik here. And this starts off.
I love Dom's look. I love the tassels. He's trimmed down quite a bit as well. I think he's lost the hood. The hair looks great. Yeah, I mean, he's Eddy.
He's Art Bar Eddie Guerrero. He's got the hair, that mullet. He's got the tassels, but black, like with the tassels. And then the front of his pants are the Mysterio wings, which is sick. And then his boots were like cow print or something nuts.
And then he's got Mami, but in the Latino Heat font on
Yeah,
like, the bump.
yeah.
Like it's awesome. He looks great.
It's a look that I really do love, and I love this guy. Get it? So good. And then on top of that, the ridiculousness of Dom. Booker T on commentary says that Dominik is like LeBron James. See, Dominik, he didn't need to go to college, university. He went from high school right to the major leagues, just like Dominik. And Dominik now, it's like one night visiting a college team to have to face off. I was like, did you just compare Dom to LeBron? I love it. Oh my God, Booker was on one. And then Vic questions him, just like we all kind of questioned earlier. He goes, how long was Dom in jail for? Like, not even a whole day? How did he know Benny the bumper from the yard? He wasn't even in the yard.
Some people just make a big impression.
Imagine you're in jail for 2 hours and you make an impression over everyone.
Also, I think I'd prefer to see Space Jam with Dom than LeBron.
That would be pretty good. Space Jam 3 with
Dom and Bugs Bunny.
Le Dom. Le Dom James.
Dom James.
So this match starts off. Wes has control here. He's headlocking and giving Dominik some cauliflower ear here and keeps getting the best of him. When we go to break and we come back, it's Dom who gains control and starts doing the three amigos to some booze here. He's really the only one who's allowed to do this. Eddie's kid. Everyone else stopped doing this move. Book says that this guy's been through a lot, being through jail, but he was in jail and in prison. Everyone treated with him respect. He was treated like Tupac. Dom hits a Michinoku driver for a near fall.
Did you hear about the Tupac thing?
No, what Tupac thing?
There's like the case is like reopened or something. They found
shot him.
Yeah, there's like new evidence has just come up.
What's
in
the
Los
new
Angeles?
evidence?
I don't know, DNA or something. I saw it on CP2 today.
Is it Puff? Is it Suge? Who did it?
I don't know, man.
Who shot Tupac? Was it Dom? Was he even born yet? No, I don't think so.
Yeah, Las Vegas police serve search warrant in Tupac Shakur's murder
Holy shit.
investigation. Yeah.
So Michinoku driver from Dom for a near fall. Dom goes up top. One guy is really upset at Dom. He is on his feet screaming, and the camera shows him for a second. And Dom is like, keeps looking over and just goes, "Shut up!" and climbs up to the top.
I think that's the thing as well in the CWC, because we saw it with Bron Breakker. You know, it was only like 5 people booing him, but it sounds like everyone hates him. So you hear these. There's always that one woman who just screams.
Yeah.
And it's like a goat. And yeah, this one guy just trolling Dom, and Dom's like, leave me alone.
So he misses the frog splash. Eventually, or does he hit it? I can't even remember here. I wrote frog splash. But eventually, Dom picks up Wes Lee, goes for some sort of back suplex, just dumps him on his head. I think this was an accident here. I think this may have rocked Wes. I don't think Dom was going for his All Japan Pro Wrestling backdrop driver.
No.
I think he just slipped up here, or Wes slipped. I'm not quite sure, but this was
He was just released early.
Yeah.
It seemed like,
kind of scary here.
Was lucky.
Wes does
not
come
as
back.
brutal as that Hanare
fucking
driver.
from the G1.
Disgusting.
Wes comes back. He hits a double stomp to the back, a jumping tornado DDT for a near fall. Dom says, "I'm over this," grabs the North American title and tries to leave, but classic heel heat. But he's welcomed by a tope from Wes. Then when he's going back in the ring, Finn Balor is there and distracts the referee, allowing Damian Priest to show up, both members of the Judgment Day. He shows up and takes, Rhea's title? He tries to use the briefcase, but Wes blocks it. And then Rhea uses her women's championship to nail Wes Lee right in the head. When the ref turns around, Dom gets on top of Lee. 1, 2, 3. And new North American champion, Dominik Mysterio.
Yeah.
To a sea of boos. They cut to this guy in the front row, just shocked.
It's like the Undertaker shocked faces.
He puts his head in his hands. He's like crying. People are losing their minds. Oh my God! If they were allowed to serve beer at this place, there would be beer everywhere, cups everywhere, cans everywhere. But yeah, the world is big mad because Big Dirty Dom is the new NXT North American champion. NXT goes off the air.
I think Rhea actually clocked Wes with this title because he was bleeding. From
Poor
the
Wes,
man.
man.
Yeah.
Dumped on his head and then.
Yeah. Look, I think Dom is such a fantastic character. I'm loving all the Judgment Day stuff at the moment. I think they are one of the hottest acts going right now. So having them to come to NXT brings a lot of attention The problem is when it comes to the actual wrestling, Dom ain't great.
No.
He hasn't really improved a great deal.
No.
The character stuff absolutely is there. But when we've seen such an awesome title run with Wes, putting on multiple like excellent matches, whether it be like the Dijak match, the like what did we have, Tyler Bate match, we've had a bunch of like great matches in this run for like quite a while. It's a shame when the last match of this run is kind of bad. Like it's a lot slower than you're used to from a Wes Lee match, but I'm all for putting the title on Dom. Why not?
Yeah.
Like, and at the end of the day, this brings more attention to NXT as well. Numbers have been pretty good for NXT recently, and I think will continue to improve. And I think people generally are invested in this Judgment Day story. I think it like adds more to the group. Now you've got Finn going for the title. Priest has the briefcase. There's tension between them. Like, is Priest gonna like ruin that for Finn? But now Dom has another title that Damian Priest might want as well. So, I think it's fun. I think it's entertaining. And the question is, where do we go? Great American Bash? Are we having a three-way?
I imagine it's a triple threat.
Are we just doing the singles as it was? More of a number one contenders match to face Dom on Raw or SummerSlam or something. I don't know. Or just do the triple threat.
No, I do agree with you. I love the whole aura that has been created. When Dominik came in with Ray, he was booed and ridiculed, and they did such a good job of turning that negative into a positive. Like, that is merch sales prove that. Like, people know this guy because it's like, what's the deal with this bad guy who gets booed all the time? You can't even listen to him talk. Is he a wrestler? Kind of. What is he? Rey Mysterio's kid? Oh, what? That's kind of wild.
It's not like this is the world title.
No.
As well.
No.
This is the North American title,
NXT.
which they've done a good job with, but it's not like David Arquette winning the WCW title and being like, you fucking ruined everything.
Yeah. I love that he gets so much heat. I love the way he looks. I love the way he's like leaning into it, and his social media presence, all of them, Rhea, Dom. Judgment Day is such an overact in wrestling right now. It's working. I agree that maybe Dom's wrestling just has not improved. I loved his match with Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania. Easily his best match, but really he didn't do too much in that match except get his ass kicked. So it's like, I do think like the wrestling could improve. You're Rey Mysterio's kid. It's a lot to like live up to, but he's totally gone in the other direction of like, who would have thought you would have become such a hated character?
I find with him, you see him, you kind of mentioned it earlier in the backstage thing where it was like, he was probably distracted by some production runner or whatever. I see him thinking all the time. And even with like when Judgment Day do their entrance and all of them are like stood there still silhouetted, he's always there fidgeting. He's always like, just doesn't look like he's, okay, what's coming next? All right, I'm doing this bit next. I'm doing this bit next. And that kind of has to go. Right. And he's been there a few years now. But I am enjoying the character. I've got no problem with Dom winning this thing. Yeah,
it's pretty ridiculous. It must be one of those things like remember when the women's tag just all of a sudden changed hands? It's like, we're doing this just because. I feel like this is one of them. Now let's just do that. Yeah. Why? Because he can lose the title at the Great American Bash in a triple threat. I am bummed if we're not getting that one-on-one from Ali and Wes. Like that's a pay-per-view worthy match. So I am kind of like, hey.
I mean, does that could always be added on Tuesday? Like a number one contenders or
so Ali versus Dom.
Sorry? Well, no, I mean it would be Dom interferes and it would cause the triple threat or whatever, but you could get the match. But
yeah, Dom is our new champ and everyone's big mad. Megan in the chat is really upset. People were chanting like you need to go here. Where were they chanting? You need to come back here?
No, it was the Cody thing, wasn't it? You're not ready.
You're not ready, yeah. Well, he's in NXT, so it's like, hey, maybe you should around. Go to the PC a little bit.
That was the plan, apparently. That came out recently that Dom was meant to go.
He should now. Should not. It's just such an over character. It's too far.
You can't now.
You can't now.
It's too far gone. But I think after that, like the sort of debut with Ray, I think would have been nice. Like Ray sending him off to college.
Yeah, we joked about it for a while.
Absolutely.
But now it's like the character. Why
you can't now?
Money,
you can't. And he's just got to learn on the job. And as long as he's like still training and listening and stuff. Like, he could get better, but I mean, the acting definitely has.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The character is great. It's hilarious.
So yeah,
great stuff. Well, that was NXT.
Newsworthy episode.
Big newsworthy episode. A lot going on. We got the Great American Bash to look forward to in over a week. We got one more episode of NXT. We'll be back next Tuesday covering that. And then, of course, the Great American Bash. So far, it's Carmelo versus Dragunov, Dom, and wait, it says Dom and Ali. So did they switch that match? Did I not see that correctly? That's just Wikipedia I'm going off of.
That's just Wikipedia. That's as it stands as of now.
Gallus and the D'Angelo family, Stratton and Hale, and Davenport and Perez. Those are 5 matches. So,
all right.
Not too bad. Not too shabby. Some big matches there. What did you think of NXT? Because there was a lot of talking segments, but in the same way, it did hype up their pay-per-view. So
I'm okay with that. It's building to a pay-per-view. I'm fine with talking segments. I'd rather that over 4 additional 2-minute matches that mean nothing.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't think this was the best episode. I have enjoyed the last few weeks maybe a little bit more. I thought the tag match was really strong. And I enjoyed the angle at the end with Dom winning, but not necessarily the match. And I guess it was a little weaker for me this week, to be honest.
It was a little weaker, but at the same time, I did get my wrestling fix out of that tag match. I will say the Lotharios guys, breaking up now too. So
yeah,
but yeah, highlights were the Tony D. I'm really happy that like Shawn Michaels, Triple H, they allow, you know, former inmates to turn their lives around.
Of course.
Dominic, Tony D, they can just you too can change your life around. Everyone deserves a second chance.
Yeah.
And it took 4 chances for Dom to win the title tonight. Let's see.
Rick Steiner's second chance lasted about 3 hours.
Yeah, that didn't last too long. No. Yeah. Are we going to WrestleCon in Detroit?
I'm good, man.
That's what we thought of NXT this week. We do put up a feedback thread every week. Join us on the Poisonrana Facebook page. There's a page you can like, and there's a group you can join, and we post fun things all throughout the week. And like this feedback thread here, I'm going to read the first one from Fire Frank Sulo, in quotations. This ain't the hood, Vic. Booker T was on his greatest one of them all tonight and kept me howling throughout the show. The Lee NF Garza Carrillo match was pretty good and got the crowd hot. Couple rough matches on this show tonight, though. Dirty Dom met Tony D, and it was magic. Speaking of welcome home to the dawn, and then my night was truly made as Dirty Dom fought all the odds against him and the unbeatable champ Wes and took home the gold. So inspirational. The reformed ex-cons rise to the top. Yes, exactly.
And then we go to Magan.
Oh, I'm sure
oh boy, here we go. Eating crow doesn't taste as delicious as it sounds. Great American Bash got monkey wrenched big time. It took all of Judgment Day to get the North American title. I bet you'll are popping the bubbly right now. Where does this leave Mustafa Ali? That being said, I don't see Dom holding it for very long. Ali needs to get his due. Lee, Frazer, and Lotharios had a dope opener. The rest of the show hummed along. The D'Angelo prison story, as corny as it was, got the payoff it needed. Do excuse me, I still got to think about what the fuck just happened. How do you see this playing out? Jesus H. Magan, it's a story.
It's make believe. It's like dancing. I love you, Magan.
Never change.
Never change. Thank you, Frank and Magan, for writing.
I do hope you're okay.
Hope you're feeling better after Dom. But yeah, wow. What a night. Dominik Mysterio, we're popping one for you. Dirty Dom, wherever you are. Hope you're partying it up in Florida. Don't party too hard. Don't end up behind bars again. But he's behind a championship now. So thank you, everyone, for listening to us talk about Dirty Dom and NXT here tonight. Check out all the other shows. Like I mentioned, we got Poisonrana over on our feed with all tons of other shows. We'll be live again on Sunday covering some G1, some Dynamite, including Blood and Guts.
Oh, yeah.
The Golden Reunion. I'm super hyped for Kota Ibushi coming into AEW, so we'll be talking all about that on Sunday and everything else. Collision as well. So check out all the other stuff again. Follow us on all the socials at PoisonRanaPod, Poisonrana.ca for a little link tree there of everything that we do. And I myself, Braden Herrington. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram at TheBrady.
And you can find me at Davie Portman.
That's it. That's all. Take care. Goodbye. Be safe. Pour one out for Diamond Mind, but pop them Smoke 'em if you got 'em for Dirty Dom. Good night.
Ahoy!
First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking each day as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you could never really know what's up next.
Poisonrana.